Welcome to Bode's Calgary real estate market update for February 2023. This video is going to show you what's happening at the overall Calgary property market level, and then I'm going to show you where you can find out what's happening in your local area to get a really good feel for what prices are doing in your neighborhood. So let's dive in. What's happening in Calgary? The first chart we're going to look at here is looking at the number of new listings to come to market each month for the last 5 years. So you can see in 2022 and in 2021, there were pretty high levels of new listings early on in the year, and then they came back down to about typical levels. Start of 2023 has seen far lower listing activity. So listings at the end of January were down 23% versus the average of the previous 5 Januaries. So a big drop off in the number of new listings. Meanwhile, on the other side of the equation, in terms of sales have been up 3% versus the average of the last 5 Januaries. So you can see here that it's better than the pre-pandemic years, 2018, 2019, 2020, but quite a bit lower than the last 2 years, 2021, 2022. So sales are still in a good place, I think, being helped out by the influx of people into Calgary, both from other provinces and overseas. That's helping home sales here. And also helping home sales here is the fact that prices didn't go up really quickly in Calgary as fast as they did in other major Canadian cities. So still Calgary is very affordable. So sales staying quite strong in and around Calgary. The next thing we're going to look at here is inventory. So there's very little inventory available in Calgary right now. So very few homes available for sale. You can see all of 2022, the bright pink line, was a very low year for inventory, and 2023 is starting off even below that. So there's only about 2,500 homes for sale in the Calgary area right now, which is one of the lowest levels in the past 20 years for January. So all of those, when we saw earlier that new listings is also really down, that makes you think that this picture isn't going to change much over the next few months. Sales are strong, not a lot of new listings. That means that the total number of homes for sale here is going to stay low for the next few months. So that makes it more challenging for buyers and can also be a bit of a self-reinforcing cycle, as if buyers don't have homes that they want to buy, then they're not going to be selling their existing home. So we're going to keep a close eye on that in the coming months. So what does all this mean for Calgary prices? Well, this chart here shows you what's happened to prices over the last 17 years. In early 2022, prices were going up quite quickly, but then for the last 7 months until now, prices have steadily come down. But actually in this most recent month, prices went up 0.4%. So that's reversing 7 months in a row of declining prices in Calgary. And prices are still up year over year, so up over 5% over this time last year. So not all those gains that were made in the early parts of 2022 have been wiped out. In fact, some of them are still there, and prices are still up 5% versus this time last year, and up even further versus pre-pandemic times. So that's a really good sign for Calgary. Again, all of the migration into the city is really helping. And I don't think we're going to see the kinds of price declines here in Calgary that you're going to see in other major cities around Canada. But all of this really differs based on where in the city you're looking at, and whether you're looking at detached homes versus attached homes versus apartments. You know, lower price segments in Calgary are doing way better right now. So it's really important that you look at the relevant information for your local community and property type. And we've got 3 great tools where you can do that. The first one's called Market Data. This is where you can see the same trends in demand and supply and prices, but for your local community. We also have a tool called Sold Data, where you can look up the sold price of any home that's sold in Alberta for the last 13 years. So if you want to find out what a home sold for near you, just take a look at our Sold Data page. Finally, we have a comparables tool where you can enter a few key listings or a few key features of your home and see all of the most comparable active listings as well as the most comparable sold listings. So a really good way to get a feel for what your home's worth in today's market. So check all of that out at bode.ca, and if you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. Thanks very much.